Welcome back, guys. I wanted to show you something cool before we get started today. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny day out here. This is the Arc of Triumph. Look at this. Very busy street. How cool is that thing? Apparently you could go in there and get on the tippy top. Not sure if it's open, but yeah. Welcome to today's episode. All right, so that was a cool little view. I'm now just walking in this park. It's Tuesday afternoon here. By the time you guys in America are waking up and seeing this video, good morning. Picked a pretty good day to come out here because the park is just mostly empty. Peaceful, let you guys hear the bird sounds as you're fixing up some coffee and getting ready for the day. So a quick note, just came back from the beach. Obviously, as you can see, I'm back in the capital. I'm settling into the new Airbnb that I checked in. Everything is perfect. I actually got extremely lucky. So this Airbnb that I checked in, I met an American and he actually recognized me. Literally walking to the door to do the self-check-in and put the code in, he goes, "Hey, are you Bo?" I go, "Yes." Sure enough, made a new friend. We live in the same complex. Just started talking. Every day would see him go down to the local coffee shop or out on his balcony, and his story is very similar, believe it or not. He just moved here in the same time I did, quite literally, probably within a few days. He also moved from California, and he's basically permanently relocating. So he's on the expat life. He has a remote business, and he's living in the very nice part of town. He's doing very well for himself, and he is relaxed, man. He's happy to be here. It's a story that you hear often, a story that pisses off some women in the West and other people that are trapped and just jealous and have envy. But after talking to him for a little bit, he gave me some phone numbers to some real estate agents around in the area that he used to find his spot too. And sure enough, man, the very next day, one of them was super hungry for business. Very cool gentleman. He was very informative and knew the area, and he took me around on a car ride to like 6-7 different places, and I ended up signing for one, which ironically was the building across the street from where I was already staying. Super nice, quiet pocket of the city that's next to everything. Actually, next to what you're seeing me walk to, I'm walking to my place right now. This is what's crazy. Yeah, if I could encapsulate what Romania has basically been in terms of calm, it's this. It's birds chirping, kids laughing and playing in the park, sunshine everywhere. I mean, look at the clouds. I mean, the day is beautiful. Waves, sand, and I'm tan now too. That's basically been my trip here. Anywho, my Airbnb will finish by June 30th. And I'll be moving into my apartment shortly before that, and I'll be ready to rock, man, with live streams, with the episodes for the second channel, stuff I've actually written out, how-to videos, things to look out for, everything. We're full steam ahead in the next week or so once we finally get situated, because having 2 monitors, the laptops, everything set up on small little Airbnb desks is just, it won't work. I miss my soundboard. But yeah, check this place out. I mean, look at these views. Super quiet. It's Tuesday morning, I believe, or about Tuesday noon. Not a soul, man, just me and the birds hanging out. Everybody else is, I guess, at work. It does get a little bit busy on the weekends, as you would imagine, but still, I mean, this place is gorgeous, man. And just now headed, like I said, back to my place, but some things to look out for that I've noticed while traveling, especially if you're looking for long-term. Basics to look out for. First, sign up for an eSIM service to get data on your phone before you even leave the States or wherever you're going from. You can find companies online. I'll do a more in-depth how-to, name dropping everything, but this is more a walk and talk, top of mind kind of video. So eSIMs, make sure you have internet, because to be connected is absolutely crucial. Your phone number will not work. Some of you may have international plans, but the cost becomes prohibited. I know in America, Verizon has something equivalent to 10 bucks a day with like 2 gigs of data and unlimited calling, something like that. But nobody's trying to spend $300 on a phone plan every month. So that's not feasible. Get your data on your phone. 2, once you get your Airbnb, it's good to know, at least have like waypoints saved on your maps for points of transportation. If you need to get around, typically only America is very car culture centric, where you absolutely need one. In other parts of the world, it's a luxury. So find your points of interest, transportation, pharmacies, anything that you think you might need when you start traveling abroad. It may seem like common sense, but trust me, you can get lost in the excitement of traveling abroad, and I'll just wing it as I go, but in case something happens, it makes sense. Pharmacies, grocery stores, hospitals, hopefully you never need one, but you never know. You could have a reaction to the water. Maybe you go out and eat something street side, it doesn't take well, and you may need to get some antibiotics or God knows what. I haven't had any issues, but it's good to just make this checklist, have it ready just in case. You don't want to be thinking about any of this stuff in case it happens. Some of you guys may be traveling to more rugged areas, less developed parts of the world. You're not going to see that here in Eastern Europe. It's pretty solid, but some of the more exotic places you may be thinking of traveling, definitely you could run into some problems. So just make sure you get the basics down so you could actually enjoy your trip and not worry about, oh my God, I'm about to puke my guts out because I ate something and I might need some antibiotics or something to help me out. Getting on a busier side of the street now. Some restaurants and stuff starting to appear. Hopefully the traffic isn't making this unbearable for your ears. Definitely getting into a louder area here. I'm just gonna cut the video short. Once I get into a more quiet spot, start talking some more. Money, that's another big thing. So how it works here in Eastern Europe is you have to go to what they call a bankomat. Basically it's an ATM. It's where it allows you to withdraw, I don't know how much depending on your bank or what the limits are, but just know it won't be enough. You may be spending way more day to day, and if you need to take out larger sums of money, you really have no option besides having an account in the country you're actually visiting, which is obviously not feasible. Most of us are going here on vacation and very few are going to settle. For those that settle, you'll make the proper plans to open up accounts overseas. But besides that, yeah, go to your bank. This is actually possible. You can go into your local branch and request a foreign currency and the total that you would need to go traveling. Double check the country you're going to. Now you don't come with more than, say, the limit in America is like $10,000, and then they confiscate your stuff, or they may think it's like erroneous drug dealing, something of that nature. And as a side note, do not travel with drugs. You don't know the drug laws in most countries. You being a foreigner, they might not take well to you breaking their laws. I know in some places you can get away with being a foreigner and say, oops, I didn't know. Better to err on the side of caution. It's just not worth it. Leave your drugs at home, people. You want to be sober for your trip anyways. Enjoy everything there is to see when you go and visit places. Do your goddamn drugs when you're bored at home. You want to escape life. Anywho, this is the lake. I live pretty close by. Back to the cash thing. Definitely withdraw a total amount that you think you would need to spend on the trip, just to have that as a backup. Going to these little ATMs every single day or wanting to buy something where they don't accept credit cards is a pain in the ass. Trust me. Especially when you don't have a car and maybe the location you picked is a good distance away walking every single day, and you don't want to trigger some fraud alert on your account for withdrawing the same denomination every single time, multiple times in a day. Could trigger a fraud alert and freeze your account overseas, which would be a pain in the ass to deal with while you're on your vacation. So definitely get your cash in order. Places in Eastern Europe all accept Visa, MasterCard, American Express, all that stuff. So as long as you got plastic with you, you're pretty much set. But do bring a good amount of cash with you, just in case. Also, when you try to buy, say, fresh food, or stuff that comes out of people's gardens. Small businesses like that may not accept plastic. You will need to be carrying cash in their local currency, of course. Now approaching the nice part of this lake. It's all the nice restaurants are here. So you could imagine one side's like this, and the other side is the lake view. Another thing is customs and cultures. It's probably very helpful for you to learn some basic words like please, hello, and thank you. Watch a video of somebody from the country you're visiting do how to present yourself and how to speak to locals. Trust me, a little bit of work goes a long way in people wanting to help you. If you're just gonna come into another country, be loud, say like a stereotypical American, take up hella space, and just make a racket everywhere, you will not be received well. And that's gonna lead to you having a subpar experience, because people in general are very helpful, very kind, and very friendly. And if they see you make an effort, man, with their culture and their customs, they're more than willing to share. They're more than willing to spill the secrets on, think of like hot spots that aren't tourist destinations to go to. They can tell you all the local restaurants, the local bars, clubs, whatever it is, the scenery, nature, everything that's hidden from most tourists that visit and just see the popular areas. They'll actually give you inside information. It only takes a little bit of kindness and people will open up. So do some research into the country you're going into. Learn some basic words to try to conversate with them. Show your appreciation for being there. Just compliment people, compliment the food, compliment the scenery. It's a beautiful place, you're happy to be here. It's the basics, man. And it really is the truth, because you are happy to be there. You paid money to travel. You're here to see something different. Leave the attitude and whatever else behind when you do travel, and go with an open mind and just be ready to receive, experience everything that country has to offer. Look at me, I'm like ducking and dodging some low-hanging trees here. But yeah, everything all around, check it out. It's just high-end. It's high-end restaurants right off the water. Some places are literally on the water. Like this is a barge. Places like this are everywhere. See, right on the water. Super peaceful. This place is buzzing at nighttime. There's people dressed to the nines walking around everywhere, picking, or I guess restaurant hopping. It's quite a treat. The music's bumping, all the lights shining off the water, reflecting. Just seeing women in dresses, very elegant, men in suits, all having a blast, man. It's an incredible view. Another spot. It smells good. Some boating activities with the family. Super relaxed vibe during the day. All right, we made it out of the park, headed off the main road. You guys can see what that looks like for a sec. I'm ready to move into the new spot, be in a more permanent position, start the daily routine, running, working out, cooking, start to feel good. Sleep schedule's normalized. I guess that's one thing I forgot to mention too. By the way, if you're traveling somewhere like I did with a 7-hour difference, or more, do expect for it to take minimum 3 days for you to get over jet lag. Actually, not a joke. You will be waking up when they go to bed, and you will be going to sleep when they wake up. It's a pain in the ass. It takes like a full 2 weeks for you to finally regulate your circadian rhythm and wake up the same time and go to bed around the same time. Be cautious when you guys are traveling the far reaches of the earth. First 3 days are going to be an adjustment period, and then you'll really begin to enjoy everything. I'm not aware of anything that you could do, medicine or whatever, sleeping pills, or just staying up all night and try to regulate your rhythm to the new time zone. It just seems like it's something that you just have to get used to slowly. Day by day, the body adjusts. I guess there are good habits you can use, such as waking up in the morning to get some sunlight in your eyes. Obviously, don't look at the sun directly. Can't believe I have to say that, but there's gonna be some morons that go out there and look at it, but you have to trigger your body to start to wake up around sunrise. Same thing during sunset. You want to be out there and getting those rays, golden hour. That also triggers the body to prepare for sleep as well. Food, probably you don't want to eat food around the time zone you came from. For example, you may be getting hungry, but it's midnight where you're at currently. Although it may be, say, 12 in the afternoon in your home country, you might want to skip eating and just drink water. Let the body and its digestive system kind of get used to the day-to-day as well. That's probably something you could do to speed up the process. I mean, that about does it, man, for today's episode. Leave some questions in the comment section below. Anything regarding traveling, my time here in Romania, things to look out for, just general or specific questions, either or. I'm still compiling a list for you guys. This was just me stopping by the bank, walking around the park, showing you the Arc of Triumph. That's what that big thing was called. And showing you a little bit of the day-to-day, man. I've walked since shooting this probably 5 miles already. Very hard here to gain weight unless you eat an exorbitant amount of food, in which case that's a you problem. Because everybody here walks absolutely everywhere. Car culture doesn't exist like it does in America. For example, the vast distances and just how large America is, and just the way we build neighborhoods and business districts. Car culture in America is a necessity. Meanwhile, here, it's a luxury. And I think this goes for the rest of the world as well. At most parts of the world, having a car is a luxury. You don't actually need one. Public transport is usually adequate. In America, not so much. Public transport's probably non-existent where most of you live, unless you live in a high-density city. You don't have public transport, you have a car. And it takes you potentially hours to get to work. Over here, it's not the case. People take the buses or bikes or electric scooters or whatever to work, and they live really close by. Traffic congestion can get bad in a capital like Bucharest, but it's nothing like Los Angeles or some of the bigger premier cities in America. I mean, stand still hours to barely eke like a snail across the road. So that's another way you save money in some of these other countries, is that transportation becomes infinitely cheaper. As I've said, I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous video, but my Ubers here, after doing the conversion and double checking, if I want to Uber somewhere, say nearby a few miles, quite practically $2. Seriously. Conversion comes out to $2. If I want to go anywhere further than that, it's in the range of like $10, $2 to $10. You can get around anywhere with an Uber here, and they're available right away. The density of Uber drivers is nuts. I can actually call one right now, and it's highly likely that he will be here within 2 minutes or less. I think the last 5 Ubers I've called, they've arrived within 60 seconds. It's kind of nuts. It's like having a personal driver on call, ready to go. Something you will not find in America. Sometimes you're waiting 15 minutes for your Uber driver to get there, and you're still paying 20-something bucks just for one way instead of 5 on average here. I'm basically walking everywhere, to the grocery store, pharmacies, restaurants, wherever it is you need to go. And again, everything is very nice. I mean, look behind me. It's paved, asphalt, nothing's cracked. Again, this is just this side of the city. I'm sure there's worse parts, but you can make the same argument for America. If you've lived in Atlanta, there's potholes and metal plates littered all over the streets. You already know what some of the roads in Los Angeles looks like. Basically, they only take care of the interstate highways and some of the roads in the nicer area in town, and everything else, the alleyways, looks like shit. So nowhere's perfect, but the nice parts in town here are still nice. There you go, AMG Mercedes. One stark difference, homeless people. I mention this with every local I talk to. I've been walking around and I maybe saw one. Maybe, couldn't actually tell, at least this side of town. Again, in America, doesn't matter what side of town you're in, there's homeless people everywhere in the big cities, even in the nice parts. I mean, you have to go into a gated community to not see homeless people. Still have not seen a home, like this would be full of tents in some of the bigger cities in America. Look, dude, nothing. It's pretty damn safe here. Women are walking their kids. You can go out at 3, 4 in the morning. Nothing's gonna happen to you. I've went down tons of sketchy areas without having a single problem, not knowing where I'm going, completely lost. It's 3 in the morning, I can't sleep. I'm walking around the park at night. Nobody robbing me, nothing, no sketch at all whatsoever. As far as safety goes, in this part of town, Eastern Europe, it's extremely safe, but from what people have been telling me, this is just Europe in general. Romania in general is very safe, besides some of their quote hoods, which are not many. They do exist, but again, it's like, who the hell goes to the hood anyway? You avoid them in America, you're gonna avoid them everywhere else. Everybody that lives in the hood tries to get out of the hood. So I saw some commenters saying like, well, why don't you go to the real part of Romania? This is the real part of Romania. Just like if I walk down Sunset Boulevard, that's still the real part of California. I'll still see homeless people everywhere. I don't have to go to Skid Row or something to show you the real LA. It's just, this is all part of the country. So no, I won't be making videos going to the hood because that's completely pointless. I don't live there, don't have any business going there, and it won't bring value to anybody. I'm excited to hit the ground running, man. It's nice to be on quote a vacation mode for a few weeks, a month, but you get the itch to get back to work, to get after it. I miss going to the gym every single day consistently. I miss cooking for myself. I've been enjoying restaurant food, don't get me wrong. It's nice to get served, but I'm a beast of burden. If things get too easy, I don't get too happy. So keep grinding, boys. Know that there's a path in the future. If you work hard, you can change quite literally your life. Final message of the day. You have options as a man if you work for them. Nothing in life is handed to you. Nobody's gonna come to save you, and nobody's gonna give you a handout. Understand that the power is in your hands. When you think long-term, 5-year, 10-year plans, hell, even longer. As long as you take the baby steps required to build something great, aka the future for yourself, it's bound to happen. The only question is time. All you have to do is put in the effort. So you may not like the pond you're swimming in now, but no, it's a passport away, man, that could change your life. Completely different culture, completely different people. I mean, look at how they're dressed. That was just one example. Walking by. It can be achieved. The single greatest blessing you have, literally, is the fact that you can speak English, and 2, have a Western salary and the ability to start a business remotely. Those 3 things are heavily in your favor, and you can make the world your oyster, quite literally. It takes a little bit of out-the-box thinking and repositioning yourself in life. Some of you may have skills that have locked you down to a company or to a location, but it's not too late to start investing in yourself and figuring out some remote options, something that you could do abroad, off the internet, something. It's one of the greatest tools that were ever invented. It's created more millionaires than you could ever imagine. And you don't even have to be a millionaire to do this. Quite literally, you could live on $2,000 a month out here. Easy, and not giving up many amenities. So the question is, are you willing to invest in yourself? Are you willing to learn? Do you have the courage to pivot in life? Some people are stuck in place due to fear. Moving abroad seems like such a giant leap. But if you don't let fear hold you back, and you're willing to wade into the unknown a little bit, and don't mind the path in front of you not being well defined, then the end is literally sunshine and rainbows. Life, quite honestly, rewards those who take risks. You're never gonna get anywhere if you stay in that same place you're in right now. And that's the brutal truth. Go out, man, explore, expand your knowledge, see what the world has to offer. Get motivated. Maybe it just takes one trip somewhere to motivate you to wanna move and change your entire life. What's a 1 week, 2 week vacation? It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Don't be a bug sandwich. Don't be a toe dipper in life. Just do it. That's it. No thinking, just doing. All right, boys, catch you on the next one.